Have fun. Hey guys, welcome to an auto review right here on ToyWorldOrder.com and YouTube.com/ToyWorldOrder. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Devall. With me as always, my best friend Dave Draper.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say not always. The puppet's not here this time.
Yeah.
He's not here.
We figured this review had the chance of being popular, so we thought we'd give him the night off.
He was being a butthole. So.
Yeah.
But gang, Dave and I are back. Of course, we've been looking at least the puppet and I have been looking at.
Yeah, the Combiner Wars.
A lot of the new Transformer Combiner Wars stuff, and Big Dave here had kind of hemmed and hawed.
I swear to God, if people start calling me that, I will murder you.
It's a.
I will murder you.
Don't call him Big Dave, please. I don't want to die. But Dave had kind of hemmed and hawed over a while after we had seen pictures of the Combiner Wars Devastator, the Constructicons, at Toy Fair, and you were kind of like, I don't know if I want it, blah, blah, blah.
I wanted it, I just wasn't sure if I was going to pull the trigger.
You're going to pull the trigger or not. And, of course, Dave went into Toys R Us. And
today, yeah.
Sure enough, there was one sitting on the shelf. And
Yep,
Dave
one
went,
left.
And pulled the
I
trigger.
had one of those anti-theft little devices wrapped around. I know, it's like
who's going to walk out of the
I made that joke with the cashier, and she's like, yeah, what, are you going to stick it down your pant leg? I'm like, oh.
Trust me, you're not going to stick this in your shirt.
I don't think people are shoplifting this that easily.
We'll do that so people can see your face. You can't see mine, you see mine all the time. You can see Dave. You can see my eyes.
Anyway.
The box is huge. It's a huge, huge box.
It's a big box.
It is a big box. Of course, adorning it is the Transformers logo, the Combiner Wars black and red there they've been using there for a while, as well as the Combiner Wars Devastator. This amazing, amazing piece of artwork on the front, which just is an attention grabber. Because you see that and you go, holy mother of...
And it does seem to be slightly embossed. Like the little characters are... they're a little...
Yeah, they are a little... Yeah, it is. It is embossed there. It's got a little embossed. Let's see if we...
Extra little detail. I don't know if it works on camera, but it pops in real life.
Yeah, it does pop in real life. There you go.
Because the embossed parts are glossy.
Yeah, you can kind of see it there on the box. How the Devastator's kind of glossy. There.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as well as a picture of all 6 Constructicons there you get there on the front there, which is really nice. On the side, of course, you've got Devastator there and all his angry glory, much like just a shot of him from the front. And then you turn around to the back, and you've got just this amazing, amazing look at what is included, including the combined version of all the Constructicons and the Devastator. All the actual Constructicons you get in here, because you get 6 figures in here. You basically get a Leader class figure and 5 Voyager class figures, or Deluxe.
They're a little between Voyager and Deluxe.
Deluxe, yeah. So, is it Long Haul? Who's the dump truck? Yeah, Long Haul. Long Haul is the Leader class. He's a big, big boy. So, but again, just an amazing look, as well as, and then of course, like on the top, you've got a picture of all 6 robot modes. But some of them have a little bit easier steps than others. So you've got a 9-step transformation with Hook. You've got an 8-step transformation there with Long Haul. You've got a 17-step transformation with Scavenger. You got a 16-step transformation with Bonecrusher, a 10-step with Scrapper, and then 8 for Mixmaster. So some of them are a little more complicated than others here in the set. A little bit more complication. But when you open it, and we've already opened this sucker, not only do you find your instructions, so you get your
instructional poster.
On one side is the actual transformation of all 6 Constructicons, while on the opposite side is the actual transformation and construction of Devastator himself there. So quite a bit there on like Dave said, the poster size transformation. You get a bag of parts, which here we'll open this bag of parts here.
Oh, good.
So you get a bag of parts, which are basically your Devastator parts.
They're also the weapons.
They're also the weapons.
In the American version.
In the American version.
America.
So
they form the weapons for the individual robot modes.
So you got Devastator's hands. You got the big guns. The actual piece that becomes his chest piece. Chest piece there. That the wings. Yep, the wings do connect to. So he becomes his.
It literally does become his chest piece.
Yeah, it literally becomes his chest piece. So some hands, some, like Dave said, the big guns here. At least the American version. Now there's 3 versions of this figure that will be out that are either out now as you watch this. There's 2, and there's a third one that's coming out that I don't think it's hit anywhere yet. But you have your U.S. Hasbro version, which is the version we're taking a look at. You have your San Diego Comic-Con version, which most of like the weapons and the chest piece are all metallic.
Chrome, yeah.
They're all metallicized chrome.
Back-metalized.
And then you have Takara's version, which actually has extra added articulation in a couple of the characters, weapons for all of the robots, for all their G1 inspired weapons. So a little bit extra.
Alternate head.
Alternate head.
Well, and then the Comic-Con version has the alternate head.
Has the alternate head, whereas this version has the regular head. So the Takara one is pretty much a combined best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So you get both the heads and all the weapons and everything. So you get this bag of parts here, which is not a lot. It looks like a lot when it's all wrapped up in this bag, but not a terrible lot. And then you get, this is what the innards of our Devastator Combiner Wars box looks like. You get all 6 robots here, packaged in this cardboard tray, really nicely actually. I mean, they've all got their own little spot there. They've all got their own little home. You can see the size differences of the different figures here, with like Long Haul being the biggest, largest. He's a huge robot, a huge dump truck. Plus, inside Long Haul there's the collector card.
But they have 1 card for the whole thing.
Yeah, 1 card for the whole thing. Instead of a card for each character. Let me get them laid out on the table here. You get a much better look at all of them here in a row. There we go. 4. There's Mixmaster. There's 5. And there is our 6th Constructicon member. That over there. Yep. So I mean, you can see the differences. Like, you've got almost a deluxe class size. You've got literally your leader class. I mean, he is a leader class figure. He's huge. And then your cross, like Dave was saying, in between Voyager and Deluxe there. And they're just to give you an idea of the size. We'll flip. I thought his head was right there, but it's not one of them. Their heads, like Devastator's head here. I mean, it's a big honking head that hides inside Long Haul there, but very. I mean, just big vehicles to begin with, and then you think about how big the robot modes are going to be. I mean, they're pretty spectacular what Hasbro has done. Here we go. That's the one I was looking for. I mean, look how big his head is. I mean, that's
Yeah.
These Transformers are these.
They earn the name Titan class.
Yes, they do earn the name Titan class. They are very, very large. And the fact that Hasbro is going to try to give us 1 Titan class figure a year, if not more, is pretty spectacular. I think this guy he retails what, 150?
I think with tax it was 160.
160. So pretty affordable piece when you realize you're getting 6 very large Transformer figures, all in one package, as well as the large combiner himself of Devastator. So just a very, very cool deal. But I love the vehicle modes on all these guys. I think it's been so long, you'll have to forgive me because I don't remember everyone's names. So I have to pull the poster out. Dave and I love Transformers. When it comes to names, I'm not that good. So you've got Hook, and Hook, of course, is a crane. There isn't any articulation. On the vintage one, I think the
vintage one, the crane does rotate there, and then this part extends.
This part extends. None of that here. Hasbro did not include that in here. So he in vehicle mode, he does not have an extending hook there.
Well, I've heard
there are some upgrade sets coming from third parties that have an extending one.
Couldn't remember if that was a Takara one or an upgrade.
No, it's an upgrade set that is coming from a third party that will have an extension, because it just pops on and off, much like like the Devastator head does. You can switch those out. It comes with different hands and stuff, but no movement on that. So you've got that. You've got Long Haul, who of course is the big dump truck, who rolling wheels. And then
they all roll.
They all roll.
Even the ones with treads have little wheels in the bottom.
Yep. So they all do roll. Let's see, we've got a Scavenger here, who Dave's playing with, who is the
Yes, backhoe. I believe.
Backhoe, yeah.
Or an excavator.
Yeah. The bucket is not articulated. I believe on the vintage one.
No, the bucket's not.
We have a vintage one sitting offside.
We got the G1 for comparisons.
Yep. So no articulation, but the arm here does it does move and sit there quite nicely.
Yeah, I think that the scoop is about as articulated as the vintage one was.
Gotcha. Wasn't sure about that.
I'm pretty sure.
Bonecrusher, who is our
bulldozer.
Our bulldozer here. Very nice mode. I guess my really only complaint is that I guess the vintage one was the same way too, but there's just the vehicles are so some of them are so green, like his treads are just green treads.
Why they wanted to keep it as close to the G1?
G1 style, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's always been my complaint with the original one, is it was very two-tone colorish.
Yeah, it's very green.
Yeah. Dave's going to go ahead and bring him down here. Yeah.
Because he pops off pretty easily.
Yeah, he's very... You can kind of see how close they kept the designs of the two vehicle modes here between G1 and the new generation style. So
yeah, and I mean, the scoop kind of pivots and the scoop kind of pivots.
Yeah, so pretty close to what it was. So you have that. You have Scrapper here, who the front loader. The loader actually is pretty articulated for a front loader there.
Yeah, I think that's actually more articulated
than the vintage one. Yeah. And of course, on the vintage one, Scrapper was a leg.
Yes.
As Dave is trying to.
Well, okay, I don't want to. This thing's been sitting on my shelf forever in Devastator mode. Yeah. See, and this one it just goes up and down.
Yep. This one
actually has a little added articulation.
A little extra articulation there.
So
a nice little addition there to the original one.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, you've got Mixmaster, who on the vintage one was also a leg.
They have a little extra purple on him.
A little extra purple for the.
And then the trade-off is that they don't have the.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The mixer doesn't spin, and then the cab is more of a weird sort of like
armored looking,
Japanese, foreign looking.
Yeah, it's. I know that there was one of the complaints in the early pictures was the fact that this is part of his foot, and it's so small looking in pictures to the rest of Devastator that people were kind of like, well, that's kind of funky. Why is it so small? But again, that's another one of the things the third-party companies are releasing is a fixed cab for this. It basically you pop the little metal beam out, take it apart, and put the new one on. So that is coming from there. But that's the trade-off with that is that a little more detail on this, of course, with the ladders.
There's a lot. If you look at them up close, and hopefully we'll get some detailed shots. There is a lot of detail in the actual sculpts.
Yeah, there is a lot of detail.
A lot of little grates, a lot of little
ladders,
panels, and ladders,
and all kinds of stuff. So lots of little details on these suckers. But what do you say we're gonna take a look at the transformations of each one of these into a robot, and then we will transform and check out everything that is the amazing Titan class Devastator. So let's check out the transformations. All right, the first one we're gonna take a look at is Mixmaster here. Mixmaster is one of the. See, that works so much better on the vintage one. The vintage one, you can go wiki.
That makes noise.
Yeah, it actually makes the noise too. It actually makes the wiki noise. So Mixmaster here, who of course is our cement truck. What are you doing?
Getting in the shot.
Hello, brother. Vroom, vroom. Vroom.
Hello, sir. He's so much smaller.
He's so much smaller. I got it. Mixmaster here is pretty simple to transform.
Good.
Pretty easy to do. First you.
I'm a lazy man.
First you pop the arms out, and they are a little.
Oh, okay.
There we go. You got to pop them out and pull the shoulders up. So they get a little stiff there. So you pull the arms up. Basically, come back here to the back, and you unattach the cement mixer from the bottom. As you can see, the feet part here kind of clip in there like so. So you're gonna undo that. And then swing the feet around, and then pull the feet apart like so. And then all that's left here is the head, which is pretty easy to do. You pop this part back. There's a little inside piece here that pops forward. That reveals Mixmaster's head. Push it back in, and you have your first Constructicon member, Mixmaster. Now, as you can see, they've kept it very, transformation and the overall look of him is very G1-ish.
Yeah, it's interesting because they actually do him kind of in reverse of the way that the G1 does it.
Yes.
So the cab forms the head, whereas in the G1 the cab forms the feet.
And the back of the mixing.
Yeah, and yet the especially from the front, the figure looks very much the same.
Yes, it does. It looks very much the same from the front, as you can see. They did a really good job of keeping that look, as well as some of the details, like the stickers here on the G1 here are up here on his hips like they should be.
Yeah.
Quite a bit here. We'll put G1 Mixmaster so he doesn't fall over there. But the articulation here is pretty much just like any other. You've got your hip joint here. You've got swivel. There's a swivel joint there at the top of the leg. He bends here technically what is his knees. He's got his feet parts here swivel a little bit, but those are for later transformation. But so you can get some, his arms here move at the shoulder. They move up and down and in and out. He actually has elbow articulation, so he actually can move at the elbows, though. Although his forearms are very small, he's got very small forearms here.
It happens.
It happens, but and then I don't know if I don't think the head actually turns or twists or anything. But
and then I believe, did we cover the ankles?
Yes, we did. Then that's going to be for a.
No, I think that's for him.
Is that for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting transformation on Mixmaster there. As you can see, you can kind of get some different poses, and thankfully the mixing thing back there helps with some odd poses there. It helps to balance him a little bit, but transformation on him is, like I said, it's pretty easy, and to transform him back and forth. So he's not a hard one to get in and out of his cement mixer mode to his robot mode. So it's pretty cool. But
good.
Let's move on and look at our next one. All right, Dave. Scrapper is our next in line. Of course, his
Scrippity Scrapper.
His tiny G1 counterpart. Wee, Daddy, wee, wee. Sorry. Scrapper here is. We'll set G1 aside for a second while we transform him. Scrapper here his transformation is pretty. Again, I don't think we showed in the last one, but you can kind of see, like Dave and I were talking, all the detail, the ladders and the little bits and pieces on the bodies of these Constructicons is pretty darn spectacular to look at. His transformation is pretty easy. The bucket comes up, and then you bend part down until it locks into place, and then you have this. So basically, you pull out the shoulders. The shoulders actually, as you can see, pull out and pull back. You pull out and pull back on the shoulders like so, and then you bring your feet piece down here like so. Feet pieces here again like so, and then the toes clip out, and that gives you. And look from the back, it gives you this here, and then you fold your back sections here down, as you can see, just like so, and those fold down and actually lock in. There are holes on the back of the legs here, and those lock into place.
And he's got the ankles again too.
And he has ankles, a little rocker ankle there a little bit. And then last but not least, you just pull up the head, like so. And you have yourself a transformed Scrapper. His transformation is pretty, actually, it would help if I pulled his fist out. Sorry.
It would.
You gotta pull his fist out too, I'm sorry. I forgot that part. There we go. Kind of throws me off a little bit. Scrapper, as you can see, between his G1 counterpart and the new Generations counterpart, they kind of kept the same. If you wanted to, you could probably bring this part up here, like on the G1.
I think maybe you're supposed to pull that down. Like that.
Yep. So you can kind of, whoops.
His head.
His head doesn't like.
He's turtling.
He's turtling. But it gives you a great Constructicon robot mode here as well, which again, he looks really nice in robot mode. I mean, they really, as you can see, kept a lot of they kept them as close to being G1 Transformer the look as they could, from the stickers, from the details that match the stickers on the G1 versions pretty well. Here, take a little Scrapper over there. My only complaint with Big Scrapper here is that he is one of two figures, I believe, that doesn't have elbow articulation. So he actually does not bend to the elbows. He turns, like you can turn his hands at the elbows. That's something else that the Takara version fixes. They actually gave this character elbows, so they have articulation at the elbows. Plus, I believe the third-party add-on is fixing that problem as well for people who don't want to spend the money on the Takara version. But even with Scrapper here, you can get some, you can get him in some decent poses there. I always like this pose because this always kind of shows off that you can balance them just right, so they can lean a little bit there as well, which is always kind of cool to me. I love that I can take my hands away and he supported himself there, which is pretty darn neat in that kind of leaning pose. So there is a little bit of articulation here to Scrapper in this mode. It's nice. My only other complaint is the head doesn't always want to stay. Like it pushes down a little easier than it probably should. But overall, it's a really nice. Yeah, see, bloop. Overall, it's a really nice transformer and a really nice robot mode, I think, other than the non-articulating elbows, which kind of sucks, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
But he does look nice in robot mode.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the next in line here. All right, Bonecrusher. Bonecrusher's neat. Like, look at
Sounds so defeated.
Look at little tiny Bonecrusher. Hello, brother. Hello, brother. Bird. Move little Bonecrusher over here. All right, Bonecrusher's transformation. This is one of the first ones you run into with some issues. His transformation is pretty simple, though. Once you tilt him up on his back end like so, basically you pull his legs off. They come off the little clips. See the little black clips there? There's a little clip there for them to hang on to. And I'm gonna pull this up out of the way here for a second so you can see.
Do it. Pull it out of the way.
These sections here, as you can see, are on a. Now they tilt. So these pieces actually are supposed to connect to become his crotch. And there's two clip points here that they're supposed to clip into one another. Problem being is that they don't clip in together quite well doing it this way. So we'll leave those unclipped for now. You turn the treads out because they become his legs, and you pull the legs out, which become his knees.
Like G1.
And just like G1. So we've got his legs and his knees. His feet here, a little different. A little different than G1. They actually, the ends of the treads separate to become basically his feet. So you've got his feet there. And now when these are like this, and you've got his feet, it becomes a little easier to actually get enough pressure. Well, it's supposed to be. It was a little while ago. Get enough pressure.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Basically, there we go, to connect that, and then they stay connected. So you can't really follow the instructions and connect those at first. You kind of have to form the legs first, and then use the legs to push those together to connect them. Next, you come back here to the back, and you flip out this black part here, and then you flip out this entire bottom part here. So the back part comes off. It's on a hinge. You take this section here, and you bring both of these guys out. There we go. So they slide out just like so. And these are going to become your arms. So by maneuvering those and sliding those down, you get his arms here. And then the head's pretty simple. You pull the cockpit back here, the little station, and this black piece here pulls up, and you have his head. And you basically fold that section down. There's clips on the back there that clip in to the side, and then so you've got him pretty much transformed here. Then all that's left to do is to take the bucket. You got to get the bucket down just right, and then that folds up and sets on top of him, and you have your Bonecrusher there. Very, very cool. He looks, remarkably looks pretty close to his G, although he doesn't stand very well. Crotch piece and his legs kind of throw him off a little bit there and lean to the side. As you can see, the crotch piece again, it's come disconnected. It's one of the major problems with this robot, this version, is the fact that the crotch, that piece just does not interlock. Beyond that, I mean, without having that locked properly, you're going to run into some problems trying to get him to pose. As you can see, like when I move his legs, his crotch is going to come apart. It's really the only major flaw on this.
Well, I would say that's kind of a big flaw.
It's kind of a big flaw too. It's kind of a big. It should have been a little bit better thought out and designed on that section there. But overall, I like that his bucket becomes his chest. I like
the G1.
Yeah, just like the G1. This head has a little bit of whoa. Spreading your legs there, buddy. So a little bit, some articulation. Again, though, his legs, because that crotch piece, he does not. You can't really move him a whole lot, or he just kind of falls down. But at least his arms hold up better than the G1s, who just they droop after a while. You can see. But I mean, it looks again. They kept the look very, very much in line with the G1 style. The G1 look there, you can kind of get an idea. But yeah, I like that. Just like the G1, the bucket becomes the chest. You've got the head there and the arms, and just a nice overall look. Well, let's move on from this, because I think we've talked all we can about this one. Let's move on to our next Constructicon. All right, Scavenger, the backhoe of the whole group, the hoe of the group. But the vehicle mode and Scavenger, of course, like we talked about, is pretty robust here. It's nicely done. His transformation, though, is a little bit more complex.
Yeah, you were working on that one.
Yeah, a little bit more complex than the other ones. But once you understand, it gets a little simple. So you put the hoe back there like that.
And he's a robot.
Yeah. Yes. That's true. And he's done.
Oh, he's just like the G1. Oh no.
You pop the treads out. Let's move the G1 here for a second. He doesn't like that. He never liked to pop the treads out here, and you basically bring them forward, and you bring this whole bottom piece down like so.
I'm getting bad flashbacks, man.
Bad flashbacks.
Bad flashbacks to the last one.
Yeah, this one's this one gets a little funkier.
Yeah, but it looks like the crotch pieces.
Yeah, so you've got basically a transformer like this. So you bend the arms out like so, and then let's bend the shoulders up.
Uh-oh.
Get your shoulders, and we'll bring the hand out. Get my hand in there to get it. One problem is that if you're like me and you don't really have good nails to begin with, here we go. The fist rolls out from underneath like so, and he actually has articulated elbows there. Our second half here, just like the first, arm rolls forward, and then the driver's pit here rolls. Yep, the cab rolls back, and it's just like before. The shoulders roll up, and we pull out the hand like so, and it clicks into place. And we've got articulated, so we've got a partial robot here, right? Next, you bring these parts. Kind of have to swivel out of the way for a minute, because you're going to bring this whole bottom part up, and then this part pivots. It's a little hard to get unlocked there. This part, as you go.
It's just that simple.
Yeah, that's it. You can see it's on a pivot right there. It pivots up, and it connects and snaps into place right into the robot. So we've got kind of got our robot here. Now the leg parts here, there's a little snap there. Those snap into place. You bring the legs down like so. And then just like before on our other treaded Decepticon here, our Constructicon, pull the legs out like so.
Technically he is both.
He is both, that is true. And then the feet, just like before, the feet separate here at the bottom. So you've got your separation there. So you've got he's got legs he can stand on. So you can see he's a little bit more. He's a little bit he puts together a little bit better than the other one. And then his head is literally flip his chest down, flip his head up, flip the chest up, and there you go. You have got yourself an amazing, amazing transformer. Now the robot version on him is, I think, is one of the better ones as well. He matches his vintage transformer.
Yeah, they did this piece right here that totally matches the metal piece.
Yeah, it matches the metal piece, which is pretty darn cool of them to do. His articulation, his head's on a little bit of a ball joint, so you got a little bit of a ball joint there. I did notice that when you bring these shoulders up, when you bring the shoulders up, they are, like most transformers, are ball jointed. So they, if you put too much pressure on it, don't worry, the ball joints pop off. They'll pop back on. But the articulation there at the elbows is nice. and the fact that he stays in position a lot better than Scavenger did. Much better actually, and looks a lot nicer too. And again, it just looks. I like what they did with the scoop part here back here, as opposed to the vintage figure, where the vintage figure scoop just kind of hangs haphazardly on him like so. The vintage figure doesn't like to stand up that well either.
No.
This scoop here, they made it so it just connects, and if you wanted, you could bring it up over his head like as almost like a scorpion tail weapon. That's what I used to do when I was a kid, or wanted to, but you couldn't do it with this.
Yeah, you couldn't do it with this figure.
You can with this one. Rah! But very nice though, very nice figure. Again, the transformation's a little bit more complex than what we've seen before with the legs and such, just a little bit. Not terrible. It's not a terrible thing to try to transform quickly, as he does go back and forth rather easily. Well, what do you say we move on before we take a look at our biggest character? Let's take a look at the next
Hook.
Yep, let's take a look at Hook real quick. All right, Hook. And again, as Dave showed you, as we talked about earlier, the fact that the vintage one does quite a bit more than the.
The vintage vehicle has some niftier features.
Yeah, it did. It swiveled and the hook came out, but on this new Hook though, it no such thing. But hey, stop it! Oh no,
we're docking.
his transformation. There are a couple of mild issues that are a little frustrating. Nothing horrible, but basically to start out, you pull his arms out like so. Bloop, bloop. And then this back piece, see, that's the robot's head, and this needs to come down to be his shoulders. But behind here, and we'll get to this when we get to Devastator, the Devastator head is hiding on his body on the back, and it's supposed to clip shut. Now, it's a big box right here, and as you can see, you kind of get an idea where I'm going with this. This sometime you get stuck on here, as it doesn't want to maneuver down. But basically, you pull it out and push it down into place. Technically, there we go.
Push it down, way down.
So you get it pushed down into place. You've got it here, and these don't meet the shoulders all the way, but they do become his shoulders. This is like one of the last steps, but of course by that point you just turn around his head there, put his head down, and then basically it's pretty simple. You just spin his little feet pieces down here, and the feet fold out just like so, like that.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
Yep.
One of the other guys.
And then you separate the legs here. So you separate them like so, and then basically on this section here, these actually fold down. They fold down.
A little different than the other one, but yeah, same basic
idea. A little different than the other one, same idea.
You kind of fold down and form the back of the
fold down, and then you can see the clip right there. Those actually clip right inside the front of the legs there. This is where I was talking. There we go. Clip right inside the legs there. So you've got them clipped into the legs. So he basically forms, bottom half of his leg. Do this opposite on this side here. There we go. Again, some mild issues getting it down and getting it clipped in. There we go. So you get his feet all together. Basically, we've got a fully transformed robot here. All that's left to do is to flip out his hands, like so. And then you've got Hook. Hook is the other figure here without articulated elbows. He does not. His arms just spin, as you can see, so he does not have articulation of the elbows. But you can see that the transformations here, again, are pretty simple. Like the legs here are reversed from the vintage to the new figure. With the vintage figure, the cab was in the front of the leg. On the newer one, it's in the back of the leg here. So he's, the cab is still there, but it's part of the leg. His arms are pretty much kind of the same. The Hook basically forms a a stand for him to hold him up, like the vintage one. That's how you basically got him to stand, because his legs would get floppy after a while.
Yeah.
And of course, the head and the chest here look very, you know, they kept, again, keeping the designs of the G1 figures and the G1 Transformer styles. They recreated the look of the stickers and everything else, and other than the middle part here, which is a chunk that comes out when you form Devastator, whereas the vintage one has a complete...
Yeah, the Devastator head is a separate piece.
Yeah, the Devastator heads have a separate piece there. So, but this, you know, the Transformer, you know, Hook here has got a ball jointed head, so he can look around quite a bit. You know, he's got legs that can move, and they swivel there right at the hip there as well. So, the feet here, though, if you put too much pressure on them, of course they pop off. They're just on a little bar. They're just pegged into that bar. So you do run into that problem. At least I did when I was transforming him for the first time. Kind of ran into that issue, but again, he's got, you know, the swivel feet there that can swivel out to help him hold up a little bit. But a really nice, a pretty simple transformation, minus the few issues with the cab and everything on the back. But once he's all together, he looks really good. And we got one more figure to look at, long haul, I believe. Before we transform everyone into Devastator. So what do you say we take a look at our largest Constructicon member and take a look at that. Alright, our last robot mode we have to look at is Long Haul, the large dump truck of the group. And of course you can see the vintage style, which Dave has been spinning off camera around, spinning his vintage Transformers around off camera, and they've almost fallen off the table once or twice.
No, it's fine.
But the dump trucks here are pretty similar.
Well, the general layout of commission, because it was politically incorrect, them Duke boys needed a new ride.
Yes, they did. Long Haul's transformation here is relatively pretty simple. You start off by unclipping the entire front of the vehicle here and unclipping the back, so you get this little motion here going on. You bring the shoulders up like so, and then this front piece here snaps down around Long Haul. You turn the waist, because of course this back part here is for Devastator, but you turn the waist around like so, and as you can hear that ratchet waist.
That is a ratchet.
And his hips on him are ratchets as well. So you basically, once you have him around here, you peel out his feet, which are tucked underneath him like so. You pull out his feet. His hands are already there. You reconnect the bucket to his back. Bring his shoulders up here so they basically are up higher like they should be. And then all you got to do is pull the head back and up, and there you go. There's Long Haul. There's his transformation from truck to robot. Now the robot mode here, actually the head is much different than the vintage. He's got a
that's true.
Yeah, very chrome looking, you know, entirely chrome, whereas the vintage one here was the black head.
Kind of black, like the rest of them.
Just like the rest of them. They gave him a little bit different of a head. But I think the complaint a lot of people have had is his arms. Like Dave was saying, he's got these little tiny
T-Rex arms.
So he's got these weird little arms, and the legs, like you would expect. I guess you would expect him to be a little taller. Like I mean, he's a big guy. He's a big truck, so he's supposed to be kind of short and kind of stout a little bit. Yeah,
he's a little squat looking.
He's a little squat looking. And I think that's the biggest complaint a lot of people have had, is that he's kind of. This is basically that's his robot mode. And it's very, like I said, it's a very simplistic transformation. It's a very simplistic robot mode, and it looks good. But again, not many people. The rest of these Constructicons, you could see possibly putting them in robot mode sometimes and displaying them that way, or displaying them as Devastator. But he is not one that I would display in robot mode, because he just looks kind of off, and like we were saying, very squat. Like from his hips to his feet, I mean, he's a dwarf basically, and literally he's a dwarf Constructicon when you look at the rest of them. So, well, with Long Haul out of the way, what do you say we take a look? We'll get them all back together here, and we'll take a look at the transformations one by one of the pieces individual into the combined Devastator. All right, starting with long haul. Starting with our little friend long haul here, you flip the head back down. So back down you go there. There you go, hide the head. The hands here swing up and lock into place. They click once they're up into place properly, just like so. Then you unhook the back section, just like before. You unhook that and bring it up a little bit, because you're going to have to swivel the waist piece back around. You have to re-hide the feet here, so the feet fold back up, and then like so. And then you fold these pieces down. So those fold down there like so, just like that. And then the feet actually fold back out. So you fold the feet down just like so, and then basically you fold these little side panels out. They fold out just like that. And then you basically relock, and you've got your waist section here and the bottom of your legs. So that's long haul out of the way. Let's take a look and form the actual arms with Scavenger and Bonecrusher. All right, so next we have Scavenger and Bonecrusher. Now, basically with the Scavenger, of course, you'd be playing with him. You have to tuck that back into there like so. And then by flipping him over and looking at him on the back, you unhook his legs here from there. And then this entire section here, where his head usually is hidden, entire section folds up, just like so. Lock the two legs back onto their bottom pegs there. And as you can see, there's one arm ready to go. Same thing with Bonecrusher here. Looking at him from the bottom, you unhook the two bottom parts here, and then this entire thing folds out. And that's it. That's other than folding that down here like this, you have there we go. You have another arm. So there are both the arms ready for Devastator. Let's move on to the legs. Alright, with Scrapper already in vehicle mode here, basically you bring the scoop up like so. You bring the arms out and then you swivel them, locking them back into place. And this mimics very much the vintage transformation. The arms here, of course, where the ankles or where the elbows are supposed to pivot, there's a reason. Once you start to transform, you realize why he doesn't have elbow articulation is because you swivel these around to the front, because normally where his hands hide, so you swivel those back, and then you bring his hands out just a little bit there, so those, when it's all said and done, those are transformed. Basically, you bring the scoop down and pop it into place. So as you can see, it mimics that vintage feel of the actual transformation for the leg, very much so, with the arms actually forming. There we go, forming the back supports, and the scoop forming the upper support there. So very very much like the vintage figure. You bring the leg pieces up like so, and then you bring the feet out like so. You've got the feet. There we go. Lock those in place. You got the feet up there like this, and then the cab here. If you don't turn this, the leg part here will actually disconnect. But if you turn this, turn it up, and swivel it so it's the Decepticon symbol. Yeah, it's upside down. It actually locks those legs into place, so they won't move on you when he's transformed into Devastator. But there's one leg. Let's take a look at Mixmaster and his transformation into the leg. All right, Mixmaster, our last part here. Well, not really. We've still got one more part, but our last foot anyway. Mixmaster's foot transformation here. Pretty simple, actually. You pull the arms apart, pull them away from the body here for a second. Just pull them away. Pull the back half out, just like you would when you're transforming him into his robot form, and then his feet actually, once you separate the legs, pull the feet up, and then there's a section right inside the legs here that's snapped down. So you have to snap both halves of those down. Like so. Put the feet back together like so. Snap those back together. And then tuck that sucker back up into there. So you have that. The cab here pops up. Little piece right here that near where the head usually sits. That snaps back. And then you tuck the arms back in and basically pull the elbows down. And there is his other leg. And this is what we were talking about earlier, was the cab part here. The front of the actual mixer just looks really kind of funky as the foot. Like we said on the vintage one, the foot is very much, looks like a cab, and this is just kind of small looking when you see it. You get an idea of how big he's going to be with just the leg here near my hands, and this cab just kind of throws everything off.
I mean, to give you an idea of perspective, that's one leg. This is the original G1 Devastator.
Yeah. So I mean, the one leg is as tall as the original G1 Devastator there, which is kind of cool. So, and again, you can kind of see what I mean by forms the whole cab for the leg there, where this is just kind of this weird little chunk. Pretty easy transformation though. We have one last Constructicon to form into what we need, and that is Hook, and then we get to put them all together. So let's take a look at Hook, who forms the head. All right, and our sixth and final member, Hook. Hook here is pretty simple too, and again mimics the style of the G1 transformation here. Basically with the top here, you have to push it over so it clicks over into place. Pretty simple there so far, right, Dave?
Yes.
And then the hands here come down at the elbows and snap into place right there. And then just like the vintage one, they have a part here, just like so. And then as you can see, they clip into one another, like so, and connect right there. So you've got that, there we go, got that connection spot that snaps. The head, you then pull out from its little hiding space, and it's got some clips and some snaps right up front there that snap that into place like so. And then there's one piece here that folds down, folds all the way down beneath the feet there. So you've got one piece facing down. And then the other piece that we're going to need, the other clip, is inside Hook's chest.
Okay. Hold on. I'm holding on.
There we go. There we go. Inside Hook's chest. And then you bring the arms just like that. And we have a Devastator head. And with that out of the way, let's take a look and form him into Devastator.
Yay!
Alright, so we've got all 6 pieces splayed out here. Got our instruction manual here to kind of show us how they connect to one another, which isn't that difficult. You're getting glasses. These glasses. Put the hook out of the way. So the first thing you need to do is connect your legs here, and basically on the back where we folded these out, this is where you're going to connect these pieces in. They connect in, they clip inside the legs here. Just basically, you have to fiddle with them just a little bit.
Hey, you were right about the ankles being part of the transformation process after all.
Huh?
Who knew?
Yes, I was. So the legs snap into place there. So there's one leg snapped into place.
Yay.
We repeat the process for our second leg, which is a little tricky. It's better to look at it like I am from below here to kind of get the pegs lined up there just right. Get everything hooked in. So we've got that's a big hunk of plastic. So we've got Devastator's legs, which are pretty cool.
Yes.
So then we need to do his arms. The arms here basically connect in such a way. Well, we have to connect the head first, I'm sorry. I apologize.
You should.
And by connecting the head, there's two little points here. They're supposed to come out somehow. There we go. Two little ports here that swing out. So we've got one arm port here, and then the other arm port on the other side here that actually swivels out. So then I can stand up for this.
Yeah.
So our clips here, our clip on the bottom here and the other clip correspond with the holes at the top of long haul. So you basically just second here. Snap him into place. There we go. And then the underarms, the actual arms of long haul, get snapped in as well. There's little clips on the bottom of the feet.
Nah.
Yeah, I know.
You just undid all your work.
I know, I did. I did undo all my work. Very sad. We get the head all clipped in there, just like so. And then you come in, and on the back of the arms, they just simply snap into place. Well, they should. I've got the arms on backwards. I may have the arms on backwards. I believe I did have the arms on backwards. I did. Now they're on right. So now with that out of the way, now we have a pretty much completed Devastator, except for, well, his hands and his chest piece.
Was that all?
Yeah, that's all. This chest piece here is three parts. It's the center part, and then there's two wings, and the wings, again, they just snap in to the center part, and they snap in all the way. They clip in there, so you get them all snapped in there. And then on the front of him, there are some corresponding holes. There's some clips here. Get lined up.
Alright, after a little technical difficulties, we got it figured out. The trick was that the treads didn't seem to peg into anything, and it turns out that the chest piece has little clips to clip into the pegs.
Yeah, the back treads actually clip into the to the sides of hook, whereas the front treads didn't have anything to hook into, and that's because you actually, the two clips on the inside of the shield, the chest shield, actually have to clip in there. And you have to get everything lined up just perfect.
Yeah,
it was
tricky.
Yeah, it was very, very tricky. Next we have our hands, which are pretty simple. You just spin them out. So we've got one hand.
I think we're due simple at this point.
I kind of hope so. We got one hand here, and that basically, there's a hole. Yep, you do that one. There's a hole there that plugs in.
I'm trying to figure out where the hole is.
You have to turn it. You put the hole on one. Snap this one into the hole. The other, like so. You have a Devastator.
And plus his gun.
And then his gun, which is two pieces here.
Well, because again, there's supposed to be weapons for the
They can the robot forms can actually hold these weapons too, but the gun snaps together. Let's put his hand up here. We can hold said gun like so, and there is our friggin' ginormous Devastator.
To give you an idea of what we're dealing with here, this is the vintage one.
It's the vintage one.
Which is always, I feel, I was always really disappointed by vintage Devastator because in the show he's so huge and he's so impressive, and you know this toy Optimus I think was about the same height.
Yeah, Optimus was the same height as him.
So he was always kind of a letdown. So I love this new guy. I think he's awesome.
And then
to give you an idea of how he compares to the other combiners,
Combiner Wars Superion.
Yeah. So he's a big boy.
He's a big lad. Let me tell you what. Relatively easy transformations too until you get to parts like his chest and whatnot.
That's a little tricky.
It gets a little tricky, but overall, Hasbro's done an amazing job with this Combiner Wars Devastator. I mean, just simply amazing. Move him over so you can see Dave's face because he's so big he's hiding Dave's face. But he's such a great figure from Hasbro. I think such a great addition to any Transformers collection. And any Transformers fan would be silly not to try to get this figure while he's available. Because once he's gone and you can't get him anymore, you're probably going to regret it because he is worth having. And I know Dave's very happy to have him in his collection.
I am, actually, yeah.
Now comes the chore of where does Dave put said Devastator.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
But there you go, guys. There's a look at the Hasbro Combiner Wars Devastator from me and Dave. Big thanks to Dave for bringing him by for us to show you guys and take a look at.
No problem.
Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out youtube.com/ToyWorldOrder and hit subscribe if you haven't already. As the puppet likes to say, mash the like button. Like all of our videos and everything we've got to offer there, too. So check that out. And, gang, Dave and I will be back real soon with some all-new reviews as well as an unboxing. So until then, gang.
Bye. Keep playing with your toys.
Take care, guys. He waves kind of haphazardly.
Well, you know what? I'm doing this from behind. And
Bye. Bye.